All right, so hello everyone. Today I will show you my final project of web programming, Bebek Nusantara e-commerce website. So without further ado, let's begin. Let me share the screen first. So what you're seeing here is the user page. This is where the user verification and user processing is happening. So I have to create an account first. If I don't have an account, then I will sign in with that account that I created beforehand. Uh, I'll try my best to squeeze this entire video into 10 minutes, but in case that this video exceeds longer than 10 minutes, please try to watch the whole video to see all my explanations through. I'll try to keep the 10 minutes specifically for the website and for the database. I might miss out on presenting the code, but here's hoping that I can squeeze some more to 10 minutes. So let's go to create account first. So in here, I can use it to create an account. And actually, if I use KKKKKK, you can see that the warning is still there. And let's say I want to create an account using this. If I use KKKKKK, and I can choose the countries right here. Let's say I'm from Guatemala. If I click an account, you can see that the password does not meet the strength requirements. And if I, let's say, create another account and I use this email and the same password and everything, yeah, it's safe. I cannot use this username right now because it already exists, so I have to choose another one. So that's the security that happens in creating an account. Let's go to signing in. So there are two roles instead of five, admin and user. Now, the reason why I don't include the five roles is because I think it's too complex and not too feasible for my web commerce website. So therefore, the admin does the admin role, the customer service role, the moderator role, and also they act as the sellers to sell the items, and the user simply act as a buyer. So let's go to the admin role first. So the admin role is actually boss, but if I enter with another user, like let's say my root, if I sign in, oops, you can see that I am not the admin. So I have to sign in with boss, and it shows that the PDO here is undefined because the PDO isn't getting any value. So let's just go to boss. And if I sign in, you can see that I'm already in the admin page. So the admin page is responsible for many management for the web commerce. So here's the user management. Here I can make a user into an admin. Let's say I change this into an admin. I can simply update it here. And there, he's already an admin. And I can use that to sign in to create into the login user admin. You can test this for yourself. And in here, I can also ban and unban. But unfortunately, this one only works for documentation, this ban and unban part. Uh, I tried many ways to make sure that the banning works. So when a user is banned, they cannot comment. But unfortunately, they are still able to comment. So therefore, that's what happened. So unfortunately, the banning is one of the few features that I have difficulties with. So let's continue that. All right. In here is the order management. I can see the orders from here. And I can also update it from, let's say, this is canceled. And then I updated it. It'll be canceled like here. Uh, this is also only documenting. So like, let's say if it's already fulfilled, they can see that it's disappearing from user page, but it's not gonna do that. So this is only documenting as well. Another feature is I can sort the order management. So if I want to sort it by pending first, sort it by fulfilled first, you can see that it's all fulfilled, 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 and then pending below that, and then cancel this below the below right here. Here I can also add a product name. So let's say I want to add a product name download block. Please open this me. Here's the image. And you can see that it's already here. But why is it unlisted? The reason is that by default, it is up to the admin to decide whether they want to show this product that they already added into the database or not. And if I want to show to the database, I simply need to click list. But for now, let's keep it unlisted to proof in the user page later. And here I can also manage the comments, whether it's comments from me or from the user. So let's say I want to comment this. Good. You can see that there's a notification saying that the comment is successful. And as you can see, yeah, the good, the comment of good is already there. And here is the messaging. So yeah, messaging is also another difficult feature, perhaps the most difficult feature that I faced so far. So actually, the messaging, when I send it to the database, it does work. It's actually already in the database, however, it's not shown in the website. I think it's because of the SQL querying on my part. It's a bit difficult to try to group and try to allocate the specific keywords together. So therefore, this is the result that I get. So let me just try to send this to a specific user. Let's say I want to send it to my root. My root is ID 5. And I want to say, I hope you enjoy it. You can see that the message is successfully. Now let's get over to the login page to sign in as a user. And so let me try to sign in directly from here. Let me try to access as my root, and then I sign in. And actually, by default, you can see before that, let's say if I enter as boss, I can actually access as boss because the boss, the admin is automatically the user. And this is the homepage. This is the similar to the previous assignment showing the 6 items. And here is the menu, all the menu items here. As you can see, Donald Duck is not there yet because I haven't listed him yet to the admin page. So let me just list that first. If I reload, you can see it's there. And let's say I want to comment in here in Bebek Sinjai. Nice. You can see that my comment deserved the time frame and everything, and the comment from the admin here is here without the time frame. And let me go reload it simply from doing that. So the reason why I have to do this instead of just directly reloading from the admin.php is sometimes if I do that, I have to resubmit the entry form again. I don't know how to resolve that yet. So to reduce the risk, I have to log in again and again to reload. So the comments you can see, yep, it's right here. And if I want to delete it, I can just delete it here. Let's want to delete this comment and also my comment from the admin side. It is possible. So if I reload again, I'm not using the reload button. You see that the comments are gone. Right. Now let's say I want to add items to cart. Let's say I want to add something from page 2. This is the pagination feature. I'll add Bebek Padang and also Bebek Betutu. And when I check out, it will be shown in the history page. There you go. You can see that the item is already there, Padang and Betutu, at this time, which is correct. And this is the channel notification page. So I must tell you that sometimes it does show here, but and also sometimes it's not shown there. I think it's on the querying part. It's one of the difficult parts that I face whenever I try to edit the code again and again. And but hopefully later I will show a screenshot showing that the messaging part actually works. This to prove that it works, even though in the video it's not. All right, so now let's go to the database. So this is the database that I use. It has these tables. So this is the alert table. Originally, I tried to put the alert here, but I did discover that I didn't really need to use it, or perhaps maybe I could use it again later in the future. And this is the data. This is where the user data is existing in. There's my root, Mr. Miguel Horn, my root. My root is 5, and there are the specific roles. Admin, boss is the admin, and the others are users. And you can see that originally I can ban specific users. So before Gallihorn was banned, and before I banned me or Mister, and then I unban him again, it becomes 0. And yeah, that's how it works. And let me just show you the messages part that it actually works the messages. There you can see that it's 5 correct. I sent it to my root, and the word I hope you enjoyed is correct. And here's the orders page. You can see that Bebek Betutu and Bebek Padang is shown there. The IDs are correct. Let me go to the product directly. Yep, you can see Bebek Betutu is ID2, and that's correct. And you can notice that there's a password set request and password token. So I did try to work on the forgot password part, but unfortunately, again, it did not work due to the time frame that was given. So let's say I want to I forgot my password. I'll just use me since the email that I use is me. That is using a real password. If I use r.superno, technically it works by the alert side. It's supposed to be submitting, but however, the mailjet side in here, if I reload, you can see it does not work. All right, now let me show the code. All right, so this is the first code, create account.php. This is how to input all the important data. All the inputs are done in this PHP code right here, PHP side. And this is where the security happens, where they need special keywords and special characters, I mean, and also numbers, not just like plain characters about uppercase and lowercase and etc. And this is where the password shows its type requirements. This is to connect the database. And before this was to check later on to check whether that there's the username and emails already exist. So the username and email has to be unique, and this check.stmt will read that from the database of this one right here, right? It will check. It's already unique. If I go to the structure right here, yeah, you can see that there's a unique values right here, especially that this is a primary key. Okay. And this is the HTML side. You can see that there's to select the countries, it's done by the JavaScript down here. All right. Now let's go to sign in.admin. So this is the sign in part, the username and password to check whether they're correct or not. And then it also implies a CSRF token. So what a CSRF token does is that it protects the website from too many entries. Like for the case of DeepSeek at the time, it received error because there were too many entries, too many requests happening. So this CSRF token will protect that. However, though, I don't have any practical application on how to prove the CSRF token, but it's supposed to work. And the random bytes that it can protect is about 32 bytes for efficiency. And then here's the form before that you see. There's the password and the username and everything. And the sign-in user follows almost the same as well. And now let's go to the admin side, admin.php. So this right here is actually the SQL indexing part using PDO. So this indexing actually provides more security to prevent SQL injection, to prevent unwanted values or too much values entering the SQL. So this is what the PDO does. So it starts from here after the security is already implemented. So this is to input the product submission. It begins, of course, with the product submission because that is the point of the admin.php at first, because it's to upload the products. And this is the dummy values for Pikachu in Jakarta. So I did not provide a feature to add a Pokemon or a new location. So by default, they're all just Pikachu in Jakarta because it's not really necessary for this assignment. And here is to handle the image upload. I already applied this to my previous assignments in my last semesters before, so I already copied this again. And then this is to insert into the databases right here, all the values and everything to execute it, STMT. And then this is for the access control admin. So if the role is not equal to admin, hence user, I will not be able to have access, and you saw that. And this is to fetch the orders. Again, this is probably the part where perhaps the grouping is a bit difficult. So thankfully for the order part, it did work. For adding the comments, it did work as well. There's the script alert right here. And then this is to delete the comments and to update it here right here. The order status change, whether I want to make it fulfilled, canceled, or pending. Find all the role changes. So before was just a list. Now it's the role changes, whether it's admin or user, with the button in the HTML later. This is to ban and unban. You can see that a lot of these are using CSRF token. So both the PHP and HTML later down there actually uses the CSRF token. This is to fetch all the messages of the user. So this is the part where the indexing can be a bit difficult. So on and on, I keep trying to find the best way to index this, but it does not work. For every new changes that I made, sometimes the messages just disappear. So I'll try to send a screenshot later in the file. This is to do the sorting part before, like if I want to sort between the admin moderator and admin user, etc. I want to sort between fulfill, pending, and etc. Fetch the data. And just the HTML part. It follows the header similar to the sort.php in the previous assignments. This is the user management table, whether they are banned or allowed and everything. Then there's the order management table, same using a table. And depending first and the fulfill first was actually the sorting part for the PHP before right here. Yep. And then there is the product management. So the products as well. And then we manage the product comments and sending a message to the user. This is the CSS use. You can check later. And that was the search.php. So yeah, that's also another feature that I forgot to test out. So let's test it out now. So I want to search any keyword that uses Madura, and voila, you can see it works. The typo is actually there. It's just that I think I forgot to color it previously because originally I tried to color everything white to try to save the buttons right here, and I think it proves I forgot to edit it. All the words that has Madura in it are shown. Here's the search results. It follows the same from the previous assignments. Now let's go to index.php. This is the home page. You can see that there is from this code right here that it shows the top 6 products. Originally, it's supposed to be the recommended products, but again, fortunately, there was an error in my end, so the recommendation does not work. Here's store.php, same using the SQL indexing. There's the card system. So the card system contains a lot of codes, and thankfully, the card system fully works and can be able to show to the history, so which is great. Right to the card system. There was a way to clear the card as well. Let me try to test that again as well, though, clearing the card and everything. So if I order Bebek Maleko, and then another one here, I can just simply clear the card first. And go down. Yep, it's gone. And this is to publish a comment from the user side. The search system before you saw there, Orjo is supposed to be a fuzzy algorithm right here, but it did not work. This is to reorder the products if press specific keyword access. This is where the fuzzy algorithm is supposed to happen. And originally, I tried to apply for various APIs, but I think most of the APIs are a bit difficult to apply for this specific one, especially that if they are supposed to generate the keyword and reordering them is hard. So this is just the output that I was able to give. You can see that the card is still continuing. The sort logic is there. Sort by price or sort by name. If I sort by name, this happens. Very welcome, very like when if I sort by price, there you can see it goes by cheaper to expensive. And it actually sorts per page actually. So the sorting is by page. It's not sorted all directly at once. It's all per page. Here's the messaging system. Again, it also faces a similar problem. I think there's a little bit of problem with the selecting and the keywording. This is how the pagination works, and this is to count the total prices, and this is to handle the profile updates, and this is the HTML structure. So to save performance, I actually make this disappear. This is not a new page. As you can see, I'm still in sort.php, and it still works. If I made it like a different file, sometimes it can be not too efficient and the loading can be a bit too long. So I made them disappear and appear instead of just making them into a separate .php file. And thankfully it worked using the sections right here. In the card section here, yeah, there's this comment right here. So yeah, this is the order history toggle section, similar from the one above here. There you go, order history toggle, order history section. You load down here. Yeah, here. And then there's the messaging system, pagination right here. And then unfortunately, for the visibility part, if I separate this to store.js, it does not work. So to save the paginations feature, I have to sort it here internally, not in store.js. This is store and Staso CSS. So Staso CSS is applied for index.php and store.php, and source.css is only for store.php. This is the JavaScript. The JavaScript is used to load various features, such as creating a new, such as in form values, appending to the output container for the cart, and also to display the products. Like before, Donald Duck was not appearing there. That's where the JavaScript like this happens. Then this is product.php. It is when I click a specific product like this Bebek button. This is product.php. It actually follows some sort of linking here. So you can see that's following ID5. And that's where it goes right here. Sorry, no, not there. Here. And this is the forgot password, how much I made so far. Supposedly it's supposed to send, I already sent my email and everything, but yeah, unfortunately, there was no way and I'm running out of time. All right, so there goes my video. So frankly, this is one of the most, admittedly, this is one of the most challenging, but nevertheless, I learned so many things when doing this assignment. Like, for example, I've learned that sometimes to face complexities, sometimes it starts with the smaller problem first. Because what I did to make this final web programming project, I immediately go on directly with the features that I already placed in assignment 6. And I think that sometimes if I just jump directly into adding the features without tidying up the assignment 6 code and everything, showed that the complexities will not be fixed because assignment 6 and final web programming project, they're not, what do you call that? They're not really showing the same, they're not really requiring the same objectives or the same rubrics. So therefore, that is one of the things I learned. And the other things I learned is especially on the SQL side. I think this assignment tested me more on the SQL side than the database courses that I attend in my studies. And this assignment really proved to me how much attention and also security details it needs for an SQL to really, really properly work. As you can see that I actually face difficulties in the messaging side. And I think that shows that when making an SQL, we ought to be more careful, more attentive, and also be aware of how the structure is about, whether they should be a unique value or primary key value, and which column should be related with other column in a relation. And there's that. And regarding the AI assistance, frankly, out of all the assignment, this is where I use AI a lot, but not entirely. I copied some codes from the previous assignments, and I also copied some codes that I used from previous homeworks from previous courses, perhaps last semester as well. But regarding the AI submission, I mean the AI assistance, one of the features that I use for AI, for example, is specifically on the well to solve the messaging problem, and even AI does not know how to solve that. Even with the solution they gave, it's still not working. But the other part where I use AI is actually regarding the security part to try to clarify on how those security parts actually work. And then also uh, for the visibility actually to make it more efficient to go from one page to the other without actually going into the pages. That's actually where AI helped me with that. Because when I make it into a separate file, sometimes it's just more difficult to recall from the store.php. I want to make it into one store.php file. And AI was able to provide me an assistant who then recommended me to make it just invisible and visible instead. And to be honest, I never heard of that uh, thought or way before. And thankfully, thanks to this project that I've been doing for like 2 or 3 weeks, been doing consistently, I get to learn that. So yeah, this final web programming, I know I'm talking too much, but this final web programming project is indeed one of the most challenging, the most difficult, and nevertheless, the most fruitful final project I've faced in my 8 semesters of studies. It showed me what it means to be a developer, especially an indie developer. Like back then when I was uh, a little kid, I wanted to be an indie game developer at one time. Or if I could have told my little kid me that being an indie developer has a lot of complexities that we need to check on, my little kid me would be baffled. But thankfully, this assignment provide me perspectives and provide me good insights on what to expect later in the career world. I guess I now see the stakes and also the future it is in developing a website and also applications, especially in complexities like this. And I want to thank you, Mr. Rodolfo, for being able to show me that. And that is all from me. I really hope that this video is enough to show that I've met some of the objectives uh, efficiently. And really hope that, uh, I really hope that you and I can see each other again, perhaps in the future. I'm really glad that I took this course. I learned a lot and I speak that really from my heart. So thank you.